And microinsurance, yes, I've just given you the overall performance of the industry. Now, microinsurance is part of that figure. And those who insured, who purchased microinsurance, they were compensated, those who had issues. Now, before these companies come out and they start selling insurance, I thought I should just take you through so that you appreciate the process. Before any company emerges out there and starts selling insurance, they go through various processes. We take them through vigorous processes to ensure that the policyholders are protected. Before us licensing a company, we make sure that the company is stable and it is in position to meet its future obligation. What that means is that we make sure that any company we license, it has financial muscles to pay claims should the claims occur in the future. So there are so many requirements which we request from them, and they must submit before they can be allowed to go out and start selling. Some of the things we ask them are the capital requirement. We have capital for each and every class of business. So you must prove that you have enough money, you have enough reinsurance to back you up should the limit go beyond what your capital which you have before we can give you a license. And we also make sure the corporate governance, the management of the firm is managed professionally. The microinsurance which we are talking about is managed professionally. So do not worry about these companies. Once they come out there and they have a license from Insurance Regulatory Authority, feel free and know that you have someone with your interest, someone who's out there to protect your interest, someone who is out there to see that things are done in the rightful way, and that is Insurance Regulatory Authority. Now, we also, to see that clients are protected, we started a full department called Complaints Bureau to address the issues of the public. So if you have any insurance related, whether you bought a micro insurance or the traditional product or policy, and you are facing any challenges, you can come to the authority, launch your complaints, and we shall handle you accordingly. So the authority has mandate over all these players out there all the licensed players out there who are selling insurance, be it insurance company, a broker, agents, loss assessor, provided they have a valid license. Authority has control over them, and we manage them. And in case of anything, we hold them to task and they explain. Remember, we have their money which we hold. Just in case of anything, we make sure that clients are taken care of before you even close shops. So the other thing I want to also share with you is the fact that micro insurance, as you hear the name, it is micro in nature, which means we collect little premium. And you know, the transaction costs seem to be too high. So what happens is that micro insurance, we encourage people to buy it in groups. Now, although there are those policies which you can buy as individuals, those ones are there, but most of them, they are group policies, whereby you come like you are like your circles, you have a group of friends with common interest. Maybe you have your WhatsApp group whereby you share things, you share views, investment plans. Insurance is one of those things you should now be discussing on your WhatsApp groups. You need to look for a micro insurance so that you are protected. You find was it around 2019, 2020, yeah, 2019, 2020, we used to have a lot of people calling for car washes to rescue colleagues. Now, these WhatsApp groups most of them were actually discussing this, how to raise funds in order to save a colleague. Now here you have, insurance has brought for you a solution. You can come together as a WhatsApp group, buy your insurance policy, which protects you people should any unfortunate event occurs. Maybe a colleague of yours dies, there are policies in the market which can guide you. Instead of you now collecting money from yourselves, you just tell insurance company to compensate you. A colleague of yours is sick, there are micro insurance products in the market which are able to handle such kind of scenarios, probably maybe chronic diseases and those things. Insurance products are there which are micro in nature, you can purchase as a group. Should one of you suffer, then instead of you mobilizing the public to go and raise funds, you go and talk to insurance company, you launch your claim, and they'll be able to compensate you and take this person for medication. So yes, to mitigate or to manage the cost of administration, insurance itself, it's not that expensive, but the cost of administering it, sometimes it tends to be expensive. So that is why we encourage people to come as a group, so that some of the costs are minimized and or shared, so that people don't feel it. Imagine if you're in a group of 200 people. I know a WhatsApp group whereby there are 100 people. Now you are 100 and you have to pay a stamp duty of, maybe you have to pay a stamp duty of 35,000. Now, when you collect as a group, that money is divided amongst you. Yeah. So those are some of the benefits of having this as a group. Although there are those policies which you can also buy as an individual from the players. So I would urge you, before you sign on any insurance policy, first understand how is it working, how is it going to be administered. Is it going to be a group or it's going to be individual? And what are your obligations? Because it's not all about you going and paying your premium that you have bought insurance. You need to know your obligations. What does insurance company expect of you? How are you supposed to behave during this period when you are insured? Because their condition, like any other contract, insurance policy has terms and conditions. And there are provisions which requires you to behave as if you are not insured. What that means is that, yes, if you are insured, you don't wake up and say, let me go and climb the mountain and fall down because there is insurance. Yeah? You behave as if you are not insured. It's not that insurance fears liability or they don't want to pay, but they don't want you to inflict yourself, because they can pay you the money. Imagine you took insurance worth a sum insured of 10 million. You climb a mountain, you climb the mountain, fall down and break your legs. They'll take you to the hospital, treat you, and you'll heal. But you will remain with that injury. So they do not want you, because of love they have for you, they don't want you to remain with a permanent injury on yourself just because of insurance. Because you know insurance is there to take care of me. So that is why they have clauses like that one, that you behave as if you are not insured, so that you do not attract some of these things on you. So, as I said, you need to understand and also make sure you ask pertinent questions. Let the person, when you engage your insurance service provider, be it a broker, insurance agent, or the micro insurance company or insurance company, you tell them what you want, ask them pertinent questions. If this happens to me, am I covered? Ask them, let them tell you what you are covered against, because like any other contract, they have a limit. They have things which they cover and things which they don't cover. Say someone will tell you, I'm giving you a life policy, but that does not mean you, if you participate in war, you now, since you have a policy, you just wake up and go and start war against the country, they'll cover you. They also have what we call exclusions, which you need to understand before you enter into a contract. Because once you've entered into a contract, then we assume that you've understood what you have entered into or you've signed for. So please, when you're buying insurance, no matter the class of insurance, make sure you understand what you are entering into. And make sure you also understand insurance does not cover you open-ended. It has a limit. You must know up to what limit am I covered, so that tomorrow when you maybe say you've taken a medical and you say the limit they have given you is 10 million inpatient, and tomorrow you go to a hospital and they charge you 50 millions. Here you've been covered for 10 million. Now for you go to the hospital, the total cost is 50 million. Now insurance pays 10 million and you start saying insurance people are thieves. Reason being why you say so is because you did not understand the product or the limit of cover you bought. So for me, the most important thing is understanding the extent to which you are covered. You bought your vehicle, vehicle is, that's a big thing. Let me talk about micro. Your shop, you borrowed, say, maybe 2 millions to start up a small shop, kiosk somewhere. Now, these 2 millions you borrowed, you agreed with the bank that they cover you on outstanding loans or outstanding amount. So you've been paying from day one, you start paying, paying back. Then fire cashes your shop after, say, 4 or 5 months, where you could have paid 50%, meaning out of 2 millions, you could have paid 1 million and remaining 1 million. Now, if insurance comes in and says, okay, what is your outstanding loan amount? It is 1 million. If insurance pays you 1 million, you start accusing insurance, saying that these people are thieves. So the thing is, we need to understand and appreciate what we are covered for, the limit or the magnitude to which we are covered, so that things are clear from the word go. And if you are not comfortable with any clause in the insurance contract, you engage your insurance company and tell them you are not willing to